I mean, is he like the Joker? Where it's like, you know, it could be the worst day of his life and everyone he's ever known and loved is dead. And he's like, like, can he not help it? Has he gone full Joaquin Phoenix and he can't control his emotions? He's like dying inside and he's weeping and he's depressed. He's like, ay, 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 ay. Like, unless it's something like that, I don't know how to excuse it. It's a matter of observation. It's a matter of paying attention and not just hearing, but listening. Taking notes, being thorough, being methodical. And when you pick up on the nuances of these situations like that, it's not hard to come to the conclusion that I did. I told you guys that this thing with Ilia and his lady was all one long con. They were playing that long game. And when we saw that footage of Ilia with the Nauk boys, and we thought that those dudes were going to get exterminated, when he goes, well, what? Why you say that? People misinterpreted. And they thought this fool's being defensive. He's standing up for his lady. And or maybe he already has some kind of suspicions. Maybe he was already feeling insecure. Maybe he already had those wheels turning. And Ilia, I think his reaction, his gut reaction in the tone, why you say that? I don't think it was one of anger, of aggression, of defense, of, you know, being that white knight and standing up for his lady, chivalry. I think it was, oh snap, who snitched? Somebody cracked into the WhatsApp. And I understand that it's easy to say this now because I never said this part before. Now I'm kind of reverse engineering because I did say it's in a plethora of videos me saying that this was all one long game that they were playing so that he could avoid Arman Tsarukyan. But now I'm going back and putting the puzzle pieces in, and now I'm seeing that's what that reaction was. Because him and his lady had already been talking about this. They had already been planning on making the move. And then the Nauk boys are like, I don't know about this, man. This Miami chicks, I don't know. Already planning them seasons. And he's like, what the heck, bro? We're supposed to announce our separation tomorrow. Why you talking like this? Like we shouldn't be together. Now it looks fishy, bro. I don't think he was coming to the defense of his lady. I think he was getting sketched out because he didn't want his plan to come tumbling down, in the timing. The coincidence would have just been weird. It would have been all over all the MMA clip channels. So he wanted to find out, what are you guys talking about? And in case you don't know exactly what I'm referring to, obviously you know this part. Ilia Topuria and their lady have had like a public separation and, you know, divorce proceedings and who's going to get the kids and custody and supposedly allegations of Ilia being abusive and this and that. And my take on the whole thing was, I don't think it's real. I think they're playing a game. I think this is all one long distraction to get Ilia out of fighting Arman Tsarukyan. And to be honest, I don't know, and I've never really known if it was Ilia's idea or the UFC's idea. Because you got to think about it, and I feel like I'm always having to remind people of this. And it gets frustrating. You might get exhausted hearing me repeat myself, but hey, how exhausted do you think I am being the one having to repeat myself? People forget of the merger. UFC and WWE are basically the same thing now. It's a lateral movement. It's TKO. It's entertainment. Now, if you ever were a WWE fan, a WWF fan, then you know when these questions come up, because when I've said it before, it's fake. They're in on it together. People say, are you stupid, bro? They've actually brought the law into this. There's actually been court proceedings. What are you talking about? How could they fake that? And my response to that is, do you remember seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin get arrested? Do you remember seeing police officers come into the arena and take that fool out the ring and put him in handcuffs? Do you remember seeing Vince McMahon in the hospital, on a hospital bed, and Stone Cold Steve Austin breaks in and he's hitting him over the head with the bedpan? Do you forget that they know how to perfectly blur the lines? Why did people watch fights back, hundreds and thousands of years ago? Why did they watch the gladiators fight? It all boils down to one thing: entertainment. And it's just like anything else. when you start to get that dopamine off of any type of activity, and some of you cochinos know what I'm talking about. When you start to get that dopamine hit off of certain activities, it starts to get a little bit darker, you know? And sometimes you just need more variety, and it gets more intense. And that's how you end up with people like Ted Bundy. People get a little taste, and then they become insatiable, and you just need more and more. And then at a certain point, I mean, it is for me. I wish we could go back. I wish I could hop in my time machine and go back to them. But for most people, it seems like it's not enough. It's not enough to see that Brazilian in his white jiu-jitsu gi choking out a dude with one boxing glove. It's not enough. You got to see the freak show now. It needs to get weird. Now you got to see court proceedings. Now you got to see people talking about custody. They got to make it relatable and familiar. Some of you dudes at home be like, man, I'm in a custody battle myself right now. I feel me and Ilia are basically the same dude. We got a bunch of stands out here. It's not that hard to see that it's entertainment when anytime you're on social media. And this is in the midst of a breakup, a separation. Your baby is involved. Am I ever going to get to see my baby again? Custody. And you see Ilia Topuria. He's like, I mean, is he like the Joker? Where it's like, you know, it could be the worst day of his life and everyone he's ever known and loved is dead. And he's like, like, can he not help it? Has he gone full Joaquin Phoenix and he can't control his emotions? He's like dying inside and he's weeping and he's depressed. He's like, like, unless it's something like that, I don't know how to excuse it. He's out there training. He's hitting pads and he's still doing this thing even though he can't fight. Even though he can't fight, he's still out there fighting. We're seeing him doing the hot tubs with Marab. I'm surprised that they didn't try to make it part of the WWE style entertainment story to do some stuff like that with Georgina. Maybe Ilia said that's off limits. I don't know. But remember back in the day where like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, how they would just pass around Miss Elizabeth like a hot potato. I'm surprised they didn't do that with Georgina. Kind of like how Tsarukyan offered to buy Ilia's house when he put it up on the market. I guess that was the closest they would get, but that was hilarious. And then Ilia pops up a few days ago. I mean, come on, I don't wanna spoon feed you. I mean, like, I wanna keep you young. I wanna keep you young and cute, you know, just real cuddly, you know, but at some point you gotta grow up. At some point you need to get off the milk and get on that meat. You know what I'm saying? We just saw Ilia in her Instagram story. The timing. We just saw him in the Instagram story. And then right after that, what was it, like 48 hours ago we saw him in the Instagram story? And then right after, it's like, hey, we got to come clean now. We got to put an end to this. This is getting crazy. Somebody slipped up. And of course it was Georgina. She's right there with the phone and didn't realize it. Maybe Ilia was on the toilet. She's like, he's going to be in there for 40 minutes. And then maybe and then didn't realize and then you already know how these people are, the media. I mean, have you seen people like the paparazzi, how they are out on the street in actual physical real life, how they stalk people? You know how easy it is? They just sit there. They just sit there in front of the phone the moment all these different celebrities and fighters upload a story, screen record it. They probably don't turn off the screen recording. They probably just screen record all day going through stories because they already know people delete like crazy. So they already knew the moment he showed up in there, she could delete it all she wants. That's there to the end of time. Just like Conor McGregor's, I guess you would call it his public. It's not private anymore. I said it since the very beginning. What perfect timing that whoever's fault it was, whoever initiated, whoever cheated, whoever hit somebody, whoever disrespected, whoever fell out of love, whatever. Of course, it happens right when it would have been time for Ilia to have to face Tsarukyan. And then they go through the whole process, through the whole build-up and the fight camps and the press conferences and then the actual fight. They go through the whole thing with Pimblett and Gaethje. And then, of course, he's going to wait a couple weeks. What's he going to do? Come out the next morning? Hey, you know what, everybody? Oh, everything's all good. I'm ready to fight now. He can't be that stupid. So after that fight comes and goes, the dust settles, he's back. And he's ready to go. What a shocker. You know what? What did they say? They settled out of court? That she just went ahead and took the... You know, for a lady that's making claims... Like, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'm severely paraphrasing here. She was making some kind of claims along the lines of abuse and domestic abuse and I don't know if there's a difference. I guess sometimes it was out the house. Sometimes it was inside the house. I don't know if it's in the front yard. I don't know if it's considered domestic. I don't know if it has to be within the walls of the home. I don't know how that works. I ain't a lawyer. But then on top of that, I'm afraid for my daughter and my baby, and I don't want him going near my daughter. What kind of a mother, if that was true, would just go, you know what, just give me that fat stack. Just give me it's all good. I feel like, it's probably my fault. I don't think my daughter's in danger anymore. And when you did push me and you had my throat up against it, I'm paraphrasing again, and you did, man, I was running my mouth. I'm a little mouthy sometimes. I get a little mouthy. And I think that was on me than you. You know what? Give me less money. I ain't even going to take the whole thing. What kind of lady would it? If she was really in fear of her life, if she was really abused, if he's really a threat, if they really have this little precious baby, what kind of mother's going to do that? Does that not look suspicious to you? Don't you think if it was real that she wouldn't have backed off like that? The timing is unbelievably insane. This whole thing that we just witnessed and went through with this Topuria family and all the drama, and now it's over and no charges. He's not that bad of a guy. It's okay. Just give me some money. It's fine. And then now he's not selling the house. He's back in the house training now as the Mexican Nostradamus. Let me tell you this. I'll be the first one to say it right now. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take. They're going to have to be tactful about it now. They're going to have to be intelligent about the timing of this. I don't know exactly when or how it's going to come together, but they're going to get back together. You know that, right? They're going to get back together.